Omar, tell me about areas that you'd be buying for clients, say at around about the $850,000 range, close proximity to a major city.
I think there's three really strong areas at the moment that we've been seeing and have been playing in for the last 6 months. These areas are close to the city, close to schools. There are lots of amenities around. There's a lot of larger blocks within these areas. So people are not only buying the asset, but they're buying a bigger land size so they could potentially develop as well. And we have been seeing a lot of investor activity in these areas. Starting off with number one, it's an area that I really love speaking about, and I have spoken about it in my suburb reviews, and it is the area of Fawkner. Fawkner has a median house price of $825,000. Rental yields are sitting at 3.54%, which isn't too strong. However, it is an area where if you can maintain the cash outlay throughout the year, it is going to provide that development and capital growth for the long haul. The area has seen growth over the last year at over 4.5%, so almost 5% in capital growth. And there are lots of strong metrics with Fawkner in terms of its vacancy rates, sitting at 1.69%. Days on market sitting at 26 days. Stock on market, very low listings, only at 13 listings. And as we've seen, there are actually 2 articles released about a property just recently sold in Fawkner, 72 William Street. Listing price from the agents was $740 to $790. The first bidder off the bat actually put forward an offer $60,000 more than the actual listing price. The property ended up selling for $966,000. You can just tell there is an immense amount of pressure on Fawkner in terms of demand versus supply. So Fawkner is one that I'm definitely keeping in my horizon. Have bought previously a number of properties in this area for our clients, and we've been operating there for the last 6 months. Definitely is an area that I would recommend. However, there are certain pockets I would not touch. These are pockets that might be closer to the freeway. Some areas within Fawkner have social housing, need to be careful. And of course, always do a building and pest inspection prior to purchasing. The second area that I love speaking about and has had a lot of hype is Thomastown. So Thomastown has a median house price of $799,000. Yields are sitting at 3.21%. Typically, the growth over the last year has been 3.66%, which is quite good for Melbourne. 26 days on market. Vacancy rates are sitting at 2.51%. A low amount of listings, only 14 listings, 38 building approvals. And that is because of the amount of subdivision developments, duplexes that are happening in Thomastown. So Thomastown is definitely one to keep onto your horizon. And the last one is the area of Reservoir. Now, they are all within that northern Melbourne pocket, but it is really important to know that these are close to the city, undervalued right now, and really strong bang for buck. There is a lot of value in all three areas. Reservoir, the median house price sits at a little bit over $960,000, but there are certain pockets that you can buy less than $850,000. Rental yields are sitting at roughly around 3%. Over the last year has not seen growth. It's actually gone a bit backwards, but we are in a cooling market and many areas are performing like this. Has been growth in the last month. It has seen 0.2%. Vacancy rates are sitting at 2.37%. Days on market, 28 days. Low amount of listings in terms of building approvals. There are only 29 building approvals and 38 listings on the market. So Reservoir, again, it's a huge area in the northern suburbs of Melbourne, and there are really good pockets and really weak pockets. So you need to be able to do your due diligence on them. And the most important thing here as well, you give your perspective when it comes to these suburb reviews. But all in all, what's really important to note is there are certain areas that are strong in performance, but you've got to be very careful where you buy and the asset type that you buy. You know, for instance, buying on a main road or buying a property with an easement running through the middle of the property, or buying a property that has had the same tenants that haven't maintained the property well. You've got to be careful of all these things when going to find the right property in these areas. So always do your checks and balances prior to actually purchasing that property.